It is April 9th, 10:31 a.m. Eastern Time. Welcome to another video with Digital Goats Academy. I'm your host, Antoine Farrar, and this is our live trading segment. And it's a good day today because I got one of my trading partners on today. I don't know if he's going to talk, but as I just go through the market, everybody just kind of, follow along. But what I can say is that with US 30, with indices, that, like I said, it didn't feel like it, but we're where we want to be. You know what I'm saying? Like I said on the last video is that I had already predicted that my expectation last year and some of 2023 was that this market was going to come down to these. Well, 2023 it kind of did towards the end, but the market was going to come down to these lower levels that I was projecting. But you can see that all the way in 2023 and 2024, after Trump won the polls and stuff, the market got aggressively bullish, created an M pattern, brought it all the way back to a previous level of resistance, which the market responded off of it. So we can treat it as support unless it breaks further down. Now, I did say that there was a possibility of the market keep selling down, but I believe that if that were to happen, we're going to come and collect a lot of liquidity up here before we decide to do that. And the original area that I'm thinking of, if we were to continue selling, is the bottom of this M pattern. Or maybe not sell, maybe we'll come back up to this area and then come back down to create a higher high. I don't know. We'll kind of see as the market shows us its hand. But let's look at what's been going on this morning. Now, this morning, I've been pretty much clocking US 30, all indices pretty much. So yesterday around London session, the market dropped. Well, the market dropped yesterday morning, right? So it gave us a bull run. Then it dropped all the way down to where it broke out of Sunday, where initially started buying up Sunday, Monday. Tuesday brought the market all the way down to create what? Create a foundation of support. Now, we don't know unless it starts pushing up, because it could have easily broke this area that we see down here. Now, there were two things that happened in this overall zone. Is that there was a gap that happened from carrying over from Friday last week, NFP, and the markets, basically this was a previous high on what time frame were we on just now? The weekly? Yeah, so a previous high or a previous level of resistance on the weekly time frame, which we can now treat as support. So this is still good news. And I know the stock market has been bleeding. And I know y'all feel like, man, like America's probably doing bad. But I'm telling you, this is probably the best time, especially if like you're an investor or a business owner. Now, what happened this morning is that the market actually created a double bottom, or you might as well say a triple bottom, but I'm caring about what happened within like London into New York today, right? So London dropped down, New York dropped down again. Well, London pushed up, and then at the what is this? Midway of London. I don't know if this is what is there an opening bell for London, bro? Right. Oh, he got off. No, you're not. He's still here. Yo, is there an opening bell for you, you can hear me? Or you driving? You can talk. You can come off
Yeah,
the mic.
yeah, no, I was trying to, man. I kept hitting this my unmute button, but nah, there ain't no opening bell that I'm aware of. I just know the times, but I haven't seen anything on the market that rings a bell, especially on the Forex session.
Got you. So 4 a.m. brought the market down into pre-New York. So New York, we got bullish. This is the 9 a.m. candle right here. So since we've had opening bell, we've been pretty much bullish. And we can see that I'll always talk about hours going into it, right? That each hour you want to break it down and see how the market reacts, especially like if you're intraday trading or scalping. So this market pushed down. We can see that it's touching the indicator, and I like that it's actually touching the indicator and pushed away from it. Now, the only thing that I like to look at is, one, it's still too early. It's still too early to call if we're buying from here, because we could still pull back to lower territories. But I mean, to be honest, with the way the momentum is looking, it's looking like we're going to continue buying from here. So you can see that the market reacted. That's actually pretty neat. That the market reacted to the 382 and off of the indicator, which y'all know my purple indicator is like my major trend, the overall move, like of where the market is going. So we can see that once we get a close of this, the market should probably, push down again, test these levels, and then continue bullish. But this is our buy candle right here. The only thing is where the pullback is going to be, because we were bullish engulfing. We broke 1, 2, 3, 4, close above 4. I mean, if you want to count this bull candle, 5 candles, you know what I'm saying? The only thing is, where's the pullback going to be? I like when the market is like either extremely bullish or extremely bearish. I like that it does shallow retest. And to me, a 382 of like a candle is a shallow retest. Now, I didn't scale down yet to see like what it would look like on the overall trend on a smaller time frame. Let's look at that. Yeah, bullish candles right there. I don't really like even measuring this per se like this, because we don't know if that's truly the high yet, because if the market pushes down and then drops down like back to this position, then that would be the high. But as far as right now, yeah, the momentum looks solid. Doesn't look like we have like the possibility of the market pushing down lower. And again, my EMAs are pushing the market up. So if I just throw them on, you can see that the market is following the EMAs to the upside. Yeah, we got to break out of this consolidation right here. I knew that that was going to happen. So until we probably get to like 12, it'll probably keep, pretty much moving sideways right here. Or like 1 a.m. I mean, not 1 a.m., 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock. Let me see. Same thing with S&P. And the change is positive right now. So that's good news as well for this market session. I know I like for the market to stay either positive 100 or negative 100, depending on the direction that I'm selling. Now, obviously, there's been times that I've been in the wrong direction with it being, positive or negative. But this is the stuff, since I bought at lower levels, is what I'm trying to see. I'm trying to see if we got a continuation though, based off of this, because again, it's moving sideways. It's not really giving us any direction. And the only thing that you don't want to get caught in is if it's going to dive a little bit lower, right? So S&P broke above our buy zone. Now this buy zone is from like 4 years ago. So yeah, this buy zone is from like 4 years ago. So yeah, look at this opportunity that we have. I'm going based off of, my previous markups, but not to mention like the technical analysis and what the market has been showing me. We had support made this morning. We just need to maintain that support. And you can kind of see that it looks like a what was I about to say? Inverted head and shoulder, but I don't know. Y'all have heard me talk about this before, and I believe I suck at identifying these, but I mean, kind of looks like it to me. I know we were bullish this morning, so to me, this is, if this is respecting like the idea of this inverted head and shoulder, I do, just to add on like another form of confluence, I do believe that we're still bullish from here. S&P, US 30, NASDAQ. NASDAQ does its own thing a little bit. I never really pair NASDAQ with US 30 and S&P, just because like its volatility is a little bit more aggressive. US 30 will punish you, but NASDAQ will have you questioning if you want to be a trader, just because of how it moves and stuff, right? So say we were to push down to lower levels, NASDAQ can push down lower than what US 30, like for a pullback, lower than what US 30 and S&P were going to do. But like I said, what's the one thing that I've always said about like consolidation? When I see consolidation after a move, especially when it's on a pretty solid time frame, I'm thinking that we're continuing. It's just It's just trying to collect orders in order to continue to bring the market up. So what time frame was that? 15 minute? Yeah. So we may want to pull back. You can see like the NASDAQ may want to pull back to this level after it breaks out, but it should be after it breaks out. There's a possibility, but I think the momentum's so strong today is that we're just going to carry. I think these are going to be one of these moves where the market moves slow and kind of choppy, but it's buying up overall. I think we've all seen that before, like within the market starts buying up, you come back, it's so slow that you're not really paying attention. You come back and you're like, I can't believe this market is at such and such price, you know what I'm saying? And it didn't even look like it was going to do that, or by the end of the week. So yeah, we just need this candle to close. What is it? 10:30. So we got 17 minutes for this candle to close. I'm gonna kind of wait for this candle to close to see what it's gonna do. But like I said, I do expect for the market to attempt to test these lower levels. But we do need like another bullish candle to truly break out of this consolidation that we're in right now. Even though we broke out of it on a smaller time frame, you can see that the market is kind of like consolidating right here. It's moving sideways until we get a better confirmation. Not to mention this whole area is consolidating, which again, once we hit this area, we might have to just assess if the market might try to pull back to either a previous high or like back to this support structure and then go from there. But as far as today, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of set. It's kind of set what's going on. Now, what was curious to me is that, you know, China just did their they just did their tariffs on us, which was like 85% or 84%, some fucking ridiculous number against the United States, right? I'm wondering if that's a ploy to to increase the value of cryptocurrency right now. I don't know. It just seems like it's like, man, that's pretty aggressive, even with what Trump is doing. And I'm wondering if this is a ploy because crypto is at a previous high as well. You know what I'm saying? So, well, Bitcoin specifically is at a previous high in the market right now, which was at 74K. You can see that it rejected. It didn't go into it. No, where are we at? It didn't go exactly 74K or really where my zone was at 73. But you can see that, you know, the market is actually respecting this previous high. It's starting to buy up from it. That we had around 74K when it broke out of this consolidation. And cryptocurrency is pretty solid when it comes to its structure. You know what I'm saying? It's not really all over the place. And the fact that it broke out of consolidation, returned back to this consolidation point, I think that this is our buy zone, unless proven otherwise. Hold on. What's this? Yeah, this consolidating right here. Like I said, it could push down a little bit lower, but it's not really doing much probably until noon. So, you know, like this is the part of trading that kind of sucks that there's not really nothing exciting. The moves were pretty much at you know, 8 a.m., 8 a.m., 9:30 a.m. After that, the market's pretty like stagnant, you know what I'm saying? It's not really, there's a lot of momentum to go up, but there's not a lot of momentum to make the market react today. And I wonder why that is since it is pretty much a primary trading day. But I'm sure by the end of this week, we'll probably see the market, I don't know, like let's say for US 30, where I'm looking at is us to probably be back up to 42K, at least 42K by the end of the week. Um, yeah, that may seem like a stretch, but the way this momentum is building up, all you need is for news to start, fundamentals to start being implemented into the market, and it's going to make it react. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's what the market is probably like anticipating, is the news is going to filter in from last week and into this week, that I actually have those candles. So I wouldn't be surprised if, like, for us who trade New York session, you know, in America, like London session is probably the session that you probably want to trade, because the start of these moves will probably beat in, which you will get better positioning. So that way you don't even really have to mess with New York. But that's all I got for today. I mean, like I said, the moves that happened were this morning. Everything else is just, hey, enter basically on the pullback, assess the market, make sure it ain't going against us. But I do think that we're bullish for the rest of the week. Once we get up to this position, though, you still would have to assess. We do need a break, and then we want to retest back into like this zone. We don't want it trying to push down lower. Well, what we could have is a break of this gap, and it could push back into the high of this gap. But we'll cross that bridge when we get there. I don't like thinking too far into the future. But again, the market's pretty slow today, but it's showing us its hand. I would like it to remain bullish for the rest of the day, and that kind of solidify what we have going on the rest of the week. Same thing with, oh my gosh, yeah, same thing with Bitcoin. I wonder if gold is finally coming down. I'll check that out in a few. So yeah, I think Bitcoin, after this hour is over, this 2 hours over, it's gonna break this candle and keep pushing up. Representing the same alignment with indices. So again, good time to be an investor in the market if we start getting a bullish sentiment. But we won't know. We really won't know. So the thing is, what you want to do is you want to be in this market for stock investments. You want to be in this market already. So that way, when it does start spiking, you're already receiving the profit and you're not trying to catch in on the back end. But that's all I got for everybody today. I'll see everybody tomorrow that's going to jump on. And thanks everybody for participating with another video of Digital Goats Academy. Also, as I close this out, make sure you hit that like button, drop a comment, and hit that subscribe button on your way out. I hope everybody has a successful trading week.